So we are going to actually, you know the chapter here हिंदी में कैसे परीक्षित महाराज ने कली युग रिसीव किया. What is that? स्वागत. Yes. कैसे परीक्षित महाराज ने कली युग को स्वागत किया. Right. So, पहला स्कंद का एक महत्वपूर्ण अध्याय है. अध्याय 16. So, from the beginning of the chapter, we see that Kali Yuga is entering, meaning Kali Yuga अर्थात अधर्म का प्रभाव प्रवेश कर रहे हैं. So this is the situation now. Nowadays it's not pravesh, it is established reign. Kali Yuga has established its reign here and is increasing its influence day by day through many, many ways. One of them being this one. So, in this chapter, actually the whole Canto 1 is an introduction to the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Shukadev Goswami and Srila Vyasadeva are very, very systematic in their presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And any good presenter has first an introduction and announces how the topic, what is the topic, how it will be developed, what is the purpose of the book. And then there is a development and then there is a conclusion. And we are so fortunate to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after it has been recited in Naimisharanya. The Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand, is the sound manifestation of the Supreme Lord, and is especially recommended in this age for us to hear, to study, and to recite, to appreciate, to remember. One who remembers Srimad Bhagavatam is actually remembering Krishna himself. So it's a beautiful way to remain engaged in thoughts of God. Otherwise, on this earth, there are many presentations of the path of religiosity and the path of spirituality. Some of them actually very good. Yesterday, as I was going to the airport, one of the officers, young man, he received me and he said, "Are you a Christian?" He said, I am a Catholic, Catholic Christian. So I said, "Oh yes, I was born in a Catholic family. I was born there." Then he said, "Oh, and did you give up God?" I said, "No, understand, God is in the heart of everyone. We cannot really give Him up. We try hard, but we can't really give Him up. We can't. We are eternally connected. We are connected. Like in the Shastra it says, like the rays of the sun are part of the sun. We are part of Krishna. Amsha. Sanatan Amsha. We are never cut from Him. Our consciousness becomes blurred and we feel like we are disconnected. But we are never disconnected from Krishna. And Krishna has introduced Himself all over the world in different ways, Prabhupada says, through different preachers. But the topmost presentation is through the Vedas. Vedas are the original knowledge. The boy was asking me, "Why did you give up Christianity?" I didn't really give up Christianity. I still trust and believe in Jesus Christ, that He came as a representative of God. He taught bhakti. He taught surrender to Krishna. That's what he taught, nothing else. Oh Father, holy be your name. This is what he said. What else? There is no difference. But I told him that just like you people in India, when you ask your mother why she is doing the puja at home, what does she answer? Usually, she doesn't really know why. She got it in tradition, through tradition. Similarly, I asked my mother, explain me, what is this, belief in God? What is this worship of God? What is the church? Why do people go there? She could not explain. So I went to the church, I went to the priest, I was a small girl, and I asked him question. What is this in the Bible? It says like this. What is this? And he could not explain. He could not say. He could not explain. He used to give me books, just read. So I took the books and I read. And I tried to understand as much as I could. But my thirst for knowledge was not satisfied. Then finally, when I was 20 years old, I journeyed to this beautiful land, Bharatavarsha, the land at the south of the Himalayan mountains, where the Ganges flow, sacred river. And as soon as I arrived here, I just smelled the breeze. Something here. There is some atmosphere. Why? Because of the presence of all the holy places, because of the descent of the Lord in this area, because of the presence of the saintly people, because of the sound of the holy Vedas being vibrated in different parts of the country. Just by landing in India, one feels the difference. And then I met the sadhus. And you know what they told me? Prabhupada was a sadhu. What did he say when he preached? He said only one thing, all the time, again and again. He said, you are not this body. That's what the sadhus told me. Each and every one of them that I met, they said, you are not this body. You are the Atma. And as I heard again and again, then one day I woke up. Oh, right. This was the missing link from childhood. There was something missing. There was something not quite correct. What was this life about? I couldn't understand. Why are people working so hard, trimming like asses? For what? I could see. I was born in a farm with the cows. I saw my mother, my father. Everywhere I went, I saw. Everybody looks the same. Some people look like my father, some people look like my mother. Jai Shri Dwarka Shri Gauranitai Jagannath Baladesh Bhadramarani ki. I understood that the world is made up of two kinds of people, one like my mother, one like my father. And in every house I go, there is one of each kind who lives there. And then from the house come out many children. And the children play, and I could see the children grow. We used to visit the different farms around the countryside with my parents. And I saw in some of the farms there were babies, in some of the farms there were bigger children, And in some of the farms, there were crying parents whose children had left home to go to the city to make a career. And the parents were left alone in the village, in the farm, getting old, with no one to hand over their business or their farm, and no one to help them in old age. And at some other time, my parents would not take me with them. They would say, "We are going to a funeral." And I would come to know that in such and such farm, the person, someone, had gone. "Oh, Daddy, where did they go?" No topic for children. "He has gone. He will not come back." "Oh, why?" "You play." So I was wondering, but I understood. First, we are children, then we grow, then we find one of the other kind and we marry, then we have our own children and we work hard to bring them to adulthood. And then the pattern I understood is that we love them and then they leave, and then we cry, and then we die. This is what I saw. And I thought, something fishy here, they say. Fishy means smells bad. Something here. Why? Do we really have to do that? Do we really have to go through this? Isn't there anything else we can do in life? Isn't there a purpose? Other than, I cannot understand the purpose. I cannot understand why. Why do people do that? When in the end they have to leave everything. All the land they acquired, all the cows they acquired. They have to leave their family, their beloveds, they have to leave their wealth, everything. Why did they acquire it in the first place? I had so many questions. And my questions were answered, finally, from the mouth of the sadhus and from the Vedas. Lesson number 1. We are not the body, we are the soul. And the soul has a purpose. When we are here in this world, our purpose is actually that. That's why I became involved with the school, because we are students. That's what we are. That's what the soul is in this world, a student. We have to learn the truth. We have to learn how to live, and we have to learn how to die. We have to learn how to relate with each other, and we have to learn how to relate with the Supreme Lord. And Srimad Bhagavatam is that very essential scripture which teaches that. So we are very, very happy. Every time, during the day, during the month, during the year, any time, when we come in touch with Srimad Bhagavatam, we are so fortunate. We are so happy. Because as we read Srimad Bhagavatam, all the truth of life is being revealed to guide us. In this 16th chapter, which is part of the introduction to the Srimad Bhagavatam, I was saying we are so fortunate because we hear this Bhagavatam was given at the beginning of the creation. The Lord Himself gave this Srimad Bhagavatam to Lord Brahma, the Creator. As the Lord creates this world, he also gives knowledge. That is his daya. And we will hear about this today, the mercy of the Lord. His main quality, first quality, he has mercy. Mercy upon everyone. So the Lord, you see, he could have created this world for whoever doesn't want to hear about him, whoever doesn't want to serve him. He could have created this world, locked the door, and dropped the key in the Garbhodaka ocean. It's very deep. No one would have found it. He could have done that. But he didn't. He created this world and he gave the key also, in the form of the Vedas, how to come out of this terrible predicament of being involved with this material nature, all devouring material nature. And then Lord Brahma passed it on. And primarily he explained it to Narada. And Narada explained it to Vyasa. And Vyasa explained it to Shukadeva. And every time it was explained, it was further aggrandized. It was expanded. So that the one who gets it understands more and more and more, can grasp it. And when Shukadeva spoke to Parikshit, there was one person in the audience. Actually, when the Guru speaks, he is always hoping for this only, that there will be at least one in the audience who will be able to repeat. The spiritual master is always looking who is the next. That is his mission. So Shukadeva Goswami was speaking, and in the audience there was one named Sutta. And Sutta, he heard. How did he hear? Perfectly. With full rapt attention, Sutta heard Srimad Bhagavatam. And he remembered everything. He was a Shruti Dhara. One unto whose consciousness the sound remains. One who carries the sound. And he repeated this Srimad Bhagavatam in Naimisharanya. And what we are hearing in the Bhagavatam that Prabhupada gave us, it has all the realizations of all these great devotees of the Lord. So the first canto introduces what the book is about. Who is Krishna? Who wrote the book? Who spoke the book? Who heard the book? And this section we are in is about who heard the book and for what purpose this book was spoken. It was spoken to do exactly what Parikshit is doing now, is to keep Kali at bay, to keep away from the influence of Kali. Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. The person who wrote it was Vyasa, an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. It is produced by the Lord Himself. This tells us what is the quality of this book. And who spoke it? A self-realized soul. So that's the very topmost grade of speaker. Self-realized soul. One who knew Krishna personally, who was liberated. So he spoke this Srimad Bhagavatam. And unto whom did he speak it? Not just to some fresher from the school, from the university somewhere, no. He spoke it to the emperor of the world. High caliber. This is not a small talk. So this is explained in the first canto. Why? To increase our faith in the book and our enthusiasm to hear it, to be with it, to study it. So in this section, this is about Parikshit Maharaj. He heard. Who was he? A great emperor. And it was predicted from his birth by the astrologers who could read the map of the stars, that he was endowed with all pious qualities. And not only he was pious, but he was a devotee. He was born with bhakti in his heart. And here we see how Parikshit Maharaj became a perfect king, ruler, who cared for the people and for their protection. Kshatriya. It means one who protects. We have no idea about this in this age, because the people who are ruling, they are opposite. Somehow they exploit. They do not really protect. If they would protect us, so many things would not be here today that are actually destructive to our material and spiritual life. So they are not protecting, they are oppressing. But Parikshit Maharaj was a protector of the people, a representative of the Lord. He never said, I am God, follow me. He was a representative of the Supreme Lord. And initially when he started ruling the kingdom, it was just after the departure of Lord Krishna. What happened after the departure of Lord Krishna is what we hear about in this chapter. Krishne swadham upagate dharma jnana dibihi saha. The Lord left for his abode. And what did he take with him? Dharma, Gyan, Adi. Everything good is in the Lord. And when the Lord advanced himself, there is an increased manifestation of that good upon the earth. You have heard how the cycle of time goes through Satya, Treta, Dwarka, Kali, just like the seasons go around. Various seasons, winter, then there is spring, then there is summer, then there is autumn. It keeps going around, and each time brings its different manifestations. So similarly, the different yugas, there are different periods of time that bring different influences in the modes of nature. So when Krishna advanced himself on the earth, whatever be the yuga, it becomes Satya, the age of truth, the age of abundance, Aishwarya. We hear the descriptions of Vrindavan when Krishna was present, and not only Vrindavan, the entire earth was full of opulence. People didn't have to work hard. The rain came on time, the crops came on time, it was abundant. The trees bear abundant quantities of fruit. There were jewels in the mountains and in the sea. People decorated them. They would just, dig a little bit in the mountain and find jewels. Polish them a little bit and wearing them everywhere. You see pictures of the people of the past. How much jewelry do they wear? They have huge necklaces. They have waist belts. And they have the kambar belt. They have so many bangles. They wear armlets. They wear crowns. They wear earrings. They wear ankle bells. They eat in jewel pots. We think only the kings were doing that, but no. No. In the country as well. If you go to the Tibetan mountains, you will see people are still wearing the jewels that are found in the mountains. So there was so much opulence, but suddenly Krishna left. And when he left, it was like the setting of the sun. And suddenly there was the qualities of darkness started invading. And Parikshit Maharaj, he became the king at that time. And very soon he was informed that Kali has entered. This is the verse that we have been reading, I think yesterday. It was explained in the past few days that Kali has entered. What does it mean, Kali has entered? The influence is visible. Suddenly there are thieves. Suddenly there are murderers. Suddenly there are cheaters. Means the state of consciousness of the people is being altered. So Parikshit Maharaj went out on his horse to find the culprit. And here we are hearing this narrative, it's very beautiful. We see a dialogue between a cow and a bull. The bull you heard represents dharma. And the cow represents the earth. The cow is crying. And she meets dharma. Dharma is also a name for the protector. Dharma protects. So Dharma is inquiring from the cow, why are you crying? Why do you look so miserable? And as always in Srimad Bhagavatam, the answer is in the question. He starts listing all the possibilities. Is it because of this, because of that? Is it because of there are so many cheats? Is it because there are thieves? Is it because people, you see that they will be killing you very soon? So he lists all the qualities of the age of Kali. Is it because of this, or is it because Krishna has left? The earth was the most fortunate of all the devotees. When Krishna was on the earth, she was in touch with him 24 hours a day. No one else had this relationship. She was the most fortunate. The gopis smiled at night, cried during the day. The gopas smiled during the day, cried at night. They used to get up in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock and they go and they would knock at the door of Yashoda's door, Nanda Baba's bhavan, saying, we're ready to go, all dressed up. The servants would come and say, who's that? Go, it's the middle of the night. Krishna is sleeping. Why are you... Oh, really? I thought it was time already. Then an hour later, someone else would come, knock, knock, time to go. And Yashoda was like, what are you doing here? You could go to sleep. And only in the morning around 7 o'clock, she would finally open the door, and they would rush in. And she would say, not so many. What are you all doing here? No. We want to dress him, we want to feed him, we want to see him, we want to sit with him, we want to play with him, we want to be with him. And Yashoda was very happy in the morning, but after 8 o'clock, Lala is gone to the forest whole day. She climbs on the tower and she looks in the distance. She's also like the boy, she thinks time has come. And she goes up and says, oh no, the sun is still so high. Then she comes down. And after an hour, she goes back. She prepares the tiffin. She sends one tiffin. And every 1 hour, she sends a tiffin. And the messengers come back. And Nanda Baba is also waiting. When is he coming back? But Mother Earth is placing the imprints of his lotus feet on her at every moment. Sometimes he's lying on his back and she feels, oh, so nice. She's giving him massage. Sometimes he lies on his belly. Sometimes he lies on the side. Sometimes he walks. Sometimes he stands on his head while playing with the boys in the forest. But at every single moment, the earth is feeling the ecstasy of his association. And then one day, he's gone. So naturally, she's completely distressed. She has lost Krishna's association. Like a devotee who stops chanting Hare Krishna. You know, devotees chant Hare Krishna every day. But sometimes some devotees go through a crisis and they stop chanting. What happens when they stop chanting? The material nature just gets at them nicely, left, right, bottom, top. Because Krishna says, you are mine. You're not going anywhere. Anywhere you go, you'll suffer. So that you will come back quickly. So the earth started feeling so much separation from Krishna, and plus, adharma came. And she was suffering of the burden of so many terrible people. So she is explaining here what is the cause today. She says, yesterday she said, I shall try to reply to all those questions. And this is her answer. Really, here in Sanskrit, it's very beautiful. What she does is she's lamenting the departure of Krishna along with the departure of all his qualities. She says, Satyam Shaucham Daya Kshantis Tyaga Santosha Arjavam Shamodamastapa Shamyam Titiksha Parati Shrutam. So you are a little learned, you can understand. Satyam, that is truthfulness, speaking the truth. That quality belongs to Krishna, especially Krishna in the form of dharma. Param Satyam. Param Satyam Dhimahi. This is the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Satyam, the absolute truth. That is Krishna. Krishna has left the planet. What has left? Truthfulness is not there amongst the people. We experience this every day. Even against our own desire. Somebody says, can we meet at 4? And we say, yes. And we don't go. For some reason or the other. But that is due to this one. It's missing. No truthfulness. Otherwise, a truthful person, he makes sure that what he says, he does. So in this age, it is very difficult. There are so many obstacles. First one is Bulgaria. Phone me. We didn't put in no alarm. Forgot to put the alarm. We didn't hear the alarm. We are depending on so many things. And then Shaucham. What is Shaucham? Cleanliness. Two kinds. Outside, inside. Most important is inside. Inside cleanliness. Clean mind. So, we should know that we are very much, weak in this age of Kali. In spite of this, we still sometimes remain proud, where really there is no good reason for it. When we hear about these qualities, these are the qualities of Krishna, Dharma, and the dharmic people. The devotee is meant to have all these qualities. But by the influence of Kali, we hardly have one of them. And if we have, it's in very small, minute quantity. So, Shaucha, people are dirty, not clean. Their mind is full of adharmic thoughts. This is what means dirty, is adharmic thoughts. Always thinking of doing something ulta, wrong. And then there is daya, mercy. We talk about this today. Are we merciful to others? It depends. Then there is kshanti. That is, here it says, actually that is tolerance, usually understood as tolerance. Here it says self-control. Self-control. When do we see somebody's self-control? It's not when they are peacefully walking around. It is when somebody comes and interferes. Then you see how much kshanti is there. Otherwise, we can be very peaceful. You chant your rounds and your mind's very peaceful. Then you start walking around and suddenly somebody bumps in you and throws his, glass with dirty water on your new dhoti or cloth. Then where is kshanti? That time you see. Where is the kshanti? Is it there or not? Tyaga, renunciation. Oh, that is something in this age very difficult. Tyaga. Here it says, it's translated differently, it says magnanimity. So tyaga means to give up. But tyaga also means to give up in the sense of giving. That you don't keep it for yourself. Tyag means you renounce. But renounce means whatever you get, you give. Tyaga, you give it. You give it to others. So tyaga is connected to magnanimity. Then there is santosha. What is this? Satisfaction. What is the result of satisfaction? What does it mean to be satisfied? No hankering. No hankering. You have everything, santosha, santushti, they said. So you got it, so you don't want more. Otherwise, I want this, I want that. Like when you take a kid to the mall, that's difficult for the parents in this age. The worst place to take a child is to the mall. Oh no, it's the best place, right? The best place. But you cannot keep them quiet. Their senses become so agitated, they want everything they see. So santosha, that means that we are self-satisfied. How does this come? It comes from two things. First thing is the mode of goodness. And the other is spirituality, being in touch with Krishna. If we are in touch with Krishna, we are satisfied. We are full. He is Purnam. Krishna is Purnam. When we are in touch with Him, we are Purnam. We don't need anything. Then there is Arjavam. Here it says straightforwardness. Sometimes in Bhagavad Gita it is translated as simplicity. Being simple. Being simple doesn't mean just being simple in your way of living. It involves your lifestyle, simple. Your dress, simple. But Prabhupada says simple means one. Simple means one. And it is the opposite of two. So there are two things. Simplicity involves the simplicity in the lifestyle and everything. But it's also, simplicity means absence of duplicity. Duplicity means, du means two. So Prabhupada said this simplicity is also inside and outside. So this is also very difficult for many people in this age. It's connected to truthfulness. The simplicity that you think, you speak, and you act all one. But in this stage it's very difficult. You think one thing, but say something else. Or you speak something and you think something else. And then the worst kind is you think one, speak two, do three, and dream four. So many levels. Split personalities. This is the characteristic of this age. People are not one. You don't know who you're talking to. Somebody comes, nice dress, nice smile, everything, but no. So, then Shama. As you know, Shama means mind control. Dhamma, control of the senses. Also very rare in this age to control the senses. That's why control the mind, control the senses in this age very rare. That's why you see in our own society so many troubles sometimes happen to devotees. Even very good devotees. What you call a good devotee, somebody who is sincere in the heart, has a good sadhana. And then one day what happened? Oh my God, something went wrong. Somebody does something like, you never think this person will do that. Who attacked? Kali. He destroyed Shama, Dhamma. He destroyed that. So then we have tapaha. Tapaha means, as we know, it's austerity. And here it has been translated very interestingly that what is tapasya here? It means to remain true to your responsibility. Oh, that's the most difficult thing in Kali Yuga. No one can be responsible. Responsibility, to take responsibility for something and to stick to the responsibility, that is very difficult. This is actually the chin, the sign of Varna Sankara. What is the sign of the degeneration of the human being in Kali Yuga? I don't know my responsibility. I don't know my duty. Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do that? Everything merged in the mind. And the sense of duty is not there because sattva is not there. The goodness is not there. People marry. It's a very heavy duty thing. There are two difficult things. One is take sannyas, the other one is marry. We don't compare them so much, but it's the same, it's a vow. It's a vow. You take a vow. For how long? At least 25 years. Take a vow for 25 years. But in Kali Yuga, After 2-3 years, there is itching. You start itching on your seat, you know. You start, it's not going straight. You're not as nice as I thought. And you start judging the other person, you start finding the faults, you start like thinking you wasted your life, you could have done better. And then very soon there is separation. Is it strange? No, it's normal. You cannot just curse the people. Who is influencing? Kali. He has taken away sattva. He has taken away the sense of commitment, the sense of duty. It is not there. So anything, damn thing can happen, change at any time. Prabhupada said this when he was preaching to the Western devotees. What is your disease? You always want to change. This is this lack of stability. Because the purpose is missed. Because the bodily concept of life is so deep, so thick, so much covering the consciousness. You don't see the ultimate purpose of the soul. Therefore, when you don't have that, it's like when you take your car, or even before taking your car, you go out of the temple door and you don't know where you go. Should you turn left, should you turn right? It doesn't make a difference. So this is the life of the people in this age. There is no goal. So whether turn left, whether turn right, it's all the same, because anyway, I don't know where I'm going. So I can go by any path. It's a very tricky age. So here, we'll go over a few of these more qualities here. Samyam, indiscrimination between friend and foe. Equality. You don't see friend, you don't see enemy. Yudhishthira was like this. That's the quality of dharma. You don't consider friend or enemy, because you always see the purpose behind, and you understand. Somebody comes to slap me on the face. Who is responsible? Question comes. Who slapped me? And the first is immediately we point our finger at the person who actually slapped us. And then that person is an enemy. What is the definition of an enemy? One who gives harm, one who hurts, who gives pain. We consider enemy. Is he really an enemy? The wise says no, he's not really an enemy. Because whatever pain comes is the result of my own misdeeds. The enemy is my lack of Krishna consciousness. There's only one enemy. There's my lack of Krishna consciousness, because of which I don't have all these good qualities. That's my enemy. And I slapped somebody in the past very nicely. And I slapped him even with the left hand, like this. Bang! And the hand went round, round, round in the cycle of time, And one day, ping! On my right cheek, 2 teeth out. Whose hand was it? It was mine. In due course of time, that came back and slapped me. So, but then, Kunti Maharani, she was praying. What was she saying? Give me more trouble. Of course, Prabhupada told us don't do that. But why she was asking for trouble? Because in times of pain, if we are slightly fortunate, we take shelter in Krishna. when everything goes well and we are happy, then we chant our rounds in the morning, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Toop. Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Toop. One time I was riding on the bus from Delhi to Vrindavan, and I saw there was one devotee sitting on a seat next. I didn't know that person anyway, and I saw the bus left Delhi. Takes 2.5 or 3.5 hours. It was a long time ago. Red bus, UP bus. So I was on the way, and somehow, because I was a devotee, so from time to time I saw, and the devotee started, hand in the bead bag in the beginning of the journey, and he had all his rounds like, on one side, and the counting beads. And he started, Hare Krishna, as the bus started, vroom, and then he started, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, and then he goes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I could see it, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. But UP bus makes lots of noise, and it was very hot. So after a few minutes, I saw the devotee was falling asleep. And then once in a while, suddenly the driver puts on full brakes, and then there is a big commotion in the bus, and the devotee would wake up, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and he would pull one bead down. Actually, he would say, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, and he would pull one bead down, and he would start chanting, and after a few minutes, he would fall asleep again. And again there would be something, and he would wake up, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. And then he would keep chanting. And by the time we reached Vrindavan, all his beads were down. 16 rounds. That's when life goes well. No worries. But when it gets tough, when you get sick, when somebody dies, when your business goes bad, when everything goes wrong, you lose your job, your wife is angry at you, your husband doesn't care a damn, your son just decided to be a drunkard. So many things can happen, Suddenly, your AC breaks down. That's worse. That's really the worst. So many things, bad things happen. Then, if you are a little fortunate, at that time, when the enemy comes, then the sun of the holy name rises in the heart. And then we really chant, Oh Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Ram. You really call. The chanting of Hare Krishna is a call. So actually, who was the friend? Who was the enemy? Was all this nice, wonderful happiness and all the good people around you, were they friends? You thought they were because you think a friend gives sukha, happiness. But at that time, you forgot Krishna. You bathed in the sun of happiness. And when the enemy so-called came and hit you, you remembered God. You chanted your best rounds. You went to Vrindavan. You did pujas. You offered the longest dandavats you ever offered. Who is enemy? Who is friend? Therefore, Krishna has this quality. He says, that is called here samyam. Samyam, it's same, equal, like samyavad. So, equal. You don't see friend, you don't see enemy. Whatever comes, you take. And you use it to advance in Krishna consciousness. It's very nice meditation. By meditating on these qualities, we are actually meditating on Krishna. This is Him. This is what He is. And when we meditate on Him, we get these qualities. So many other qualities are there. Titiksha, tolerance. Then there is uparati, indifference to loss and gain. You lose something, you gain something, One time my suitcase was stolen on the train. In the morning I woke up, I look under the seat to take my toothbrush and no suitcase. Oh my God, dukkha. It was terrible. There was nothing left. My printer, my books, my toothbrush, my clothes, everything gone. Then I arrived in Calcutta, and the porters, the coolies, they came. They are very aggressive, and they want money to carry the luggage. I said, I don't have any luggage. Happy, very happy. Then when I arrived in Navadvip, I remembered, no suitcase. Now I have to buy. Started counting the rupees. I have to buy clothes. I have to buy this, I have to buy that. Dukkha. Then I went to the Ganges to take the boat to Mayapur. And usually I know my suitcase is at least 25 kilos. And I drag it with great pain and sweat onto the boat. And that day I was like, nothing to drag. Happy. Then I arrived in Mayapur and I remembered, my Veda-based CD was in the suitcase. Then I met a devotee and he said, I have an extra Veda-based CD, you want it? I was like, Loss and gain. Loss and gain. You lose, you're unhappy. But in the loss, there is a gain. In the gain, there is a loss. This world is very tricky. So, here what do we have? Next is Jnanam, knowledge. What is the definition of knowledge? To discriminate between matter and spirit. That is knowledge. And to live one's life according to that discrimination. It is not easy, but this is our mission in life. To live according to the fact that there is matter, there is spirit, we are the spirit, we have a different destination. Then there is virakti, detachment from sense enjoyment. This is a very complicated thing. Sense enjoyment, detachment is especially difficult when sense enjoyment is already started. Like when you start eating, in the beginning you are very renounced. And as you keep eating and it's very tasty, then this quality is there or not. You will see more. And you'll take more. I want more. I want more. I want more. Success in business. You get one house. Are you satisfied? No. I want 2. Are you satisfied? No. I want 3. Then there is Aishwaryam, leadership. It's interesting. Aishwaryam usually means opulence. But Aishwaryam, besides opulence, it means there is a certain standing to the person. Especially the Kshatriyas, those who are rulers. You just meet them, and the sages, you can't miss it. There's something about them, there's Aishwarya. Because of the quantity of the qualities that are inside them, becomes visible in their personality. That is called Aishwaryam. And that is the power to rule, the power to impress, the power to lead. Then there is Shauryam, chivalry. Prabhupada gives an example in the purport of these verses, that the Krishna, he married 16,108 wives. And he is telling of these qualities of the Kshatriya, that they are very chivalrous. How do they get their wives? By kidnapping. And now we are laughing. Is this to be done? This is talking of a completely different kind of paradigm. Why do the Kshatriyas kidnap their wives? Because they marry Kshatrinis. You know what is a Kshatrini? Very fiery lady, like Draupadi. When this Jayadratha came to take her away, what happened first? You know what happened first when he came to kidnap her? She fought. And she gave him such a blow that he fell on his bum. She actually knocked him. So that's a Kshatriya lady. So Kshatriya lady, you will not charm her by being just sweet. No. You have to show that you are powerful. Because according to the Shastra and according to the rules, and the husband must lead. He has this quality in him, Purusha. The Purusha Bhava means, I am a leader. It is the nature, you cannot change. I lead, I command, I am independent. This is the Purusha Bhava or Prakriti, the nature. You know that, I first. And the Prakriti Bhava is opposite. It's a reflection of Radha. There is a reflection of Krishna, is a Supreme Master. And there is a reflection of Radha. What is Radha? Sometimes called, she's like, Krishna bends right, she bends right. He bends left, she bends left. She's him. She's the energy of Krishna. Whatever he wants, she fulfills. Wherever he wants to go, she follows. Always with him, never separate. And fulfills his desires, acts according to him. That is the Prakriti Bhava. To follow, to adjust, to agree, to serve, to help, to assist. But the combination is not automatic. One has the tendency to dominate, the other one has the tendency to follow. But unless the one who dominates is higher in guna, then it will not work. Because the husband will want to lead. But if the wife is more smart, she will see, hey, Buddhu, what kind of a decision is this? She wants to follow, but she cannot follow. So therefore, this chivalry is involved amongst the Kshatriyas. And that if you want your Draupadi to follow you, you have to show your valor. Then she will surrender. So these are very beautiful parameters which are presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. So much nice knowledge, so that we can live very happily. So here we have Shauryam. Then there is Teja. What is Teja? Prabhav, that is the power, the influence. Balam, that is also strength. And here Prabhupada says is the power to do something impossible. In other words, Balam means it is mystical power, extraordinary power to do things which are not otherwise possible. Smriti, usually it means remembrance. But here, Srila Prabhupada says, to find one's proper duty. That is Smriti. What should we remember? Who I am. That is the first thing. Before you remember what you should do, first remember who you are. So that is connected to remembering we are the soul, we are a servant of Krishna, and also understanding our qualities according to the modes of nature, so that we understand what kind of work we should be doing for Krishna. Smriti. Then there is Swatantrayam, not to depend on others. Krishna is like this. He is independent. We should never overly depend on others, because that will be a source of trouble. Then there is Kaushalam, which means expertise. Whatever we do, we should learn how to do it, and then do it nicely. There is Kanti. Kanti, it's a beautiful word. Kanti means beauty. Krishna is beautiful. Krishna is beautiful. And one of the results of acting piously and of worshipping Krishna is that one takes birth with, what is it? Janma, Aishvarya, Shruta, Shri. That beauty and health. This comes from Krishna. He is the most beautiful. That's why the gopis love him so much. They cannot stop looking at him. He is a food for their eyes. Then there is dhairyam, freedom from disturbance, patience. Be cool, not disturbed. Mardavam, kind-heartedness. Kind-heartedness. Then there is Sheelam. Oh, wait, there's something else here. Kind-heartedness. Pragalbhyam. Ingenuity, being smart, inventive. When you are given a service, think about it, create. Prashraya, there is gentility. Means you don't cause trouble to others. You are someone in whom others can take shelter. Not that you always disturb everybody around you. So Krishna is like this. Whenever we come close to him, we feel pacified. We find the shelter. Sheelam means well-behaved. Saha means, utsaha, enthusiasm, determination. This is also lacking in this age, very much lacking. You see, all these things you can see are lacking in this age. People are not beautiful. People are not intelligent. People are not determined. Then there is Oja, perfect knowledge. There is Bhaga, means that the happiness of enjoying according to the rules and regulations. So there are many qualities which are mentioned here. And in the end, the earth says, Ete cha anye, means these qualities plus many others. Who do they belong to? Bhagavan. And Nitya, means they are eternally residing with him. They are never separate from him. Krishna never loses these qualities. And wherever there is Krishna, these qualities will also manifest. And wherever Krishna is not, then these qualities will not be there. And they are called Mahaguna, great qualities. These are the qualities of Krishna, especially in the form of dharma. Otherwise, Srila Prabhupada explains, Krishna has Ananta Guna. He has unlimited qualities, as we know, that no one can count them, no one can recite all of them. Even Ananta Shesh, with all his heads, for the unlimited duration of time, he cannot chant all the qualities of the Supreme Lord. So these are just a few that she has taken, and that are mostly related to this fact of dharma. And dharma is connected to protection. Then she says, Tena ham gunapatrena srinivasena sampratam shochami rahitam lokam papana karinaekshitam. She says that this Lord, the personality of Godhead, who is the reservoir of all qualities and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna, has closed these transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In this absence, in his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence. This is the cause of the lamentation of the earth, the crying of the cow. To see that after the departure of the Lord, all these qualities have disappeared from the human beings. They have disappeared from the human beings. And now there is trouble everywhere, quarrel, hypocrisy, all over the place. So Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, he says that when people see these bad qualities, first thing they do is they blame. Who do they blame? Who do they blame? Krishna is the first culprit. Is the cause of all causes. Who is to be blamed? God. God is to be blamed. That's what the people say. First thing, when I get a slap on my face, the culprit is the one who beat me. And secondly, Krishna says nothing happens without my consent. He said it in the Bhagavad Gita. So secondly, who is responsible? That's him. People blame God, left and right, for whatever happens in their life. When good happens, they don't blame, they don't thank, they say, who did it? Me. Prabhupada gave a funny story about this, but I'll have to stop. Prabhupada gave a funny story of a person. He was a gardener in a garden, but he was a thief also. And one time he went and he stole, and there were witnesses, and they saw him, and they reported him to the police, and they came, they found that gardener, and they arrested him, and they told him, on such and such time you climbed that wall and stole that house. And he was like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But the people had identified, they said, it's the gardener. So then the police, he asked, and who is growing all these flowers around there? He said, that's me. For that, good things in his life, he said, that's me. And for the bad things, he said, that's not me. So this is our tendency. We have to blame someone else. We don't take responsibility. And this is, Prabhupada speaks about this in the purport, that we don't take the responsibility, but we have to. So two things he points. One is that all these qualities they are actually the mercy of the Lord. And the main quality out of all these is the daya, that Krishna is merciful. If we become his devotee, he is going to give us all these qualities. And these qualities are going to grow like green grass in the rainy season. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow and make us so beautiful. That's his mercy. And he is equal in distributing the mercy. However, we know very well that the devotees, somehow or other, they are able to absorb that mercy, whereas the non-devotees, they cannot. They don't absorb it. What is the mystery? Well, Prabhupada explains it is the surrender. To surrender to the Supreme Lord. To surrender to Him. That from this day, I am yours. That is the surrender. Usually we are like half-half. Either my money is yours, but I keep my independence. Or I give you my life, but I keep my bank account just in case in my old age you forget something. So sometimes we give the life, but we keep the bank account safe somewhere. Or sometimes we give all the money, but we don't give ourselves. But what does Krishna want? Both, yes, everything. Why? Mahachora. He's the great thief. He has come to take everything. Is he taking? No, he's claiming. Hey, it's mine. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything all around. Whose is it? Kasya. Kasya svidhanam. Whose wealth is it? Krishna is claiming, it's mine. So I have come to take. Are you ready to give? This is the test. Prabhupada was saying, one hand in the front, one hand in the back. I give something, I keep something in the back. Where is Krishna looking? He's looking in the back. Because he's a kid, child. If you do that to a child, you give him and you put your hand in the back, what does he want to see? The back. He wants, what are you kept in the back? What are you kept in the back? So Krishna is like, what have you kept in the back? You have not given me? I am yajna. All to be sacrificed unto me. Is Krishna suffering from egocentricity? That he wants everything to be given to him? No. Prabhupada has explained us. He is the root of existence. He is the root. He is the root of existence. And we have to pour everything we have onto the root. And when the root is strong, when the root grows very strong, then all the branches, all the leaves, they become nicely healthy and green. But most of the time, we buy a little spray bottle when we have some plant at home and we see, oh, the plant is kind of drying, what to do? Psh, psh, spray the leaves. You spray the leaves. So when you spray the leaves, for a few seconds they kind of look a little green and then they dry again. So we have to turn to Him. This is the message of this verse. If you turn to me, Krishna says, there is daya. Upon my devotees, there is unlimited mercy. Even if they misbehave in any way, I shall never let them perish. Whereas the non-devotees, they live without protection, without the protection of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained the name Bhagavan. He says, Bha means the maintainer of the devotees. Krishna maintains the devotees. Sometimes it is very impopular preaching. Krishna will maintain you, don't worry. We are not quite sure. We prefer to be balanced. We have to be balanced. Keep a little bit on the side and surrender. But Krishna is looking. He's looking. So he is the maintainer of his devotees. He will maintain. He may maintain you as a pauper or not. That's his choice. He should be ready. But still he will maintain you. He'll give you just a little bit every day. But he will give. To be maintained by him. This is the joy of the devotee. And ga means, Bha means he will maintain and he will protect. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, I will give you what you lack and I will protect what you have. So this is Krishna. He will protect the devotees, he will maintain his devotees. Personally, not through the devatas, not through the demigods. Like Akbar, Prabhupada said, he jumped in the water to save his newborn child. Otherwise, his generals were all around. He didn't tell them, hey, go save my child. No, he went with all his clothes, his crown, everything. He jumped in the water. And Birbal was laughing. And when the king came out, Akbar, he looked at Birbal holding a putali in his hands, a little doll, and he said, I understood. Krishna maintains and protects his devotees personally. Not because he doesn't have agents to do it, but because there is a connection of affection between us when we become devotees and Krishna. And Ga means he guides. He guides us on the path of devotional service. He guides. He shows us the path. Not just go left, go right. The internal path. When we sit quietly and remember his name, he shows us the path. Not like this, like that. That guidance, that is his mercy. When he teaches us how to chant, when he teaches us how to serve him, that is his mercy. And then Jiva Goswami also explains that Ga means he is the leader of his devotees. We follow him. And Prabhupada explains it, Jiva Goswami explains it in a very particular way. What is a leader? A leader is actually someone who belongs to his own people. A leader gives his life, himself, for his own people. And Krishna gives himself to his devotees. Those who follow him, they may not get a big house, they may not get a big degree, they may not get so many things in this world, but what they will get? They'll get him. They'll get the Supreme Lord as their friend. What more do we want? There's only one disease in this world, one suffering. You know what is the suffering in this world? There's only one suffering. I am alone. That is a great suffering. I am alone. I am alone. Everyone is looking for company. Everyone is looking for company. But the company is never completely fulfilling. And the company is never 24 hours a day. When you go to sleep, goodbye to all company. With whom do you go to sleep? Only yourself. No one else comes. Alone you go to sleep. So, to get Krishna means to never be alone again. I can go anywhere because I am not alone. And what is the quality of my companion? He is my maintainer. He is my protector. He is my guide. He shows me through the darkness. He leads me to light. And the third thing he says about Ga is that the Lord is the creator. For his devotees, he is the creator. Not Vishnu, in that sense, he creates the material world. No, for his devotees, he creates the opportunities for devotional service. He creates the association. He creates the circumstances by which the devotee will come to him. He creates the qualities that the devotee needs to fulfill, to perform his service. So in this way, Krishna is everything. And Van means he is everywhere. Everything is in him, and he is in everything. You can't miss him. But yesterday we said, it's like the nose in the middle of the face. It's there, but you tend to miss it. Krishna is right here with us. He is not separate. He is right here. But just as we don't see the nose in the middle of the face, we have a tendency not to turn to him. It's a question of turning. That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita he says we are Bahir Mukha. Our face is turned outside. So Krishna says just turn a little bit. See? And Krishna is there. Where do we have to turn? We have to turn to Srimad Bhagavatam, here every day. We have to turn to the holy name and close these eyes to the world. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Krishna is inside. This is our path of Krishna consciousness. Not running all day looking for Krishna behind the bush. Where is Krishna? He is inside. Therefore, most important is every day sit down. Take the japa mala and chant his name. And the chanting is a calling. Whenever we chant, we should understand we are under Daya, Whenever we chant, the rain is falling. Otherwise we would not be chanting. Whenever we serve, Krishna is looking at us. The rain of His mercy is upon us whenever we chant. And therefore, instead of blaming Him for everything, the opposite, which it says anyway, He is blameless. He doesn't have any fault. Purnam means flawless. He doesn't have any faults. He is perfect in all ways. And whatever happens in our life, we have to learn to take it as His perfect way to bring us to Him. So every morning, we receive His mercy by opening our heart and chanting. And the chanting is a call for Him. It's a calling Him. Prabhupada has explained this, that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a sambodhana. It's an address. We are talking to Krishna. That much we must learn. It is an art. We can chant like the one on the bus, you remember? The one on the bus. We can chant like this, or we can deeply pray that please, Bhagavan, you are the guide. Please teach me how to chant your name. How to chant it in such a way that the connection happens. To chant it in such a way that you will hear. That this is our effort, and that has to be done every day, every morning, very quiet, no distraction, nothing else to do. If it didn't happen in the morning, do it at some other time, but connect with Krishna. He is ready. In the Bhagavad Gita, He promises, Ma Shuchaha, you don't worry. Sometimes we have too many worries to chant. You don't worry, He says. You just chant. Sarva Dharma. You give up all these activities you are doing. Just for 2 hours, you just give up everything. Sarva Dharma Parityaja. You sit down and you just Mam Ekam, without the mind going left, right, one focused attention. You just surrender and remember me. What shall I do for you? Because I know you are a little fruitive in mentality. I'm sure you want something. So He's promising, first thing, I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. What will happen? So we think, oh, that's good. But actually this means that this will manifest. Satyam Shocham Daya Kshanti Tyaga Santosha Arjavam. As the adharma moves out, destroyed by Krishna, this will come. Shamo Damas Tapa Samyam Titiksho Parati Shrutam. You will be endowed with all good qualities. So we shall stop here. I hope you will remember some of the lessons from this class and be inspired to take shelter in Krishna more and more. Don't worry too much. Krishna is there. Yeah. He is there at every moment. He's there in the sound, He's there in the heart, He's there everywhere, spread through His energies, personally sitting in our heart. He's hearing. And whenever we feel lost, we just have to, it just takes 1 second to turn to Him and chant His name. and he comes back. Because his plan is actually to stay with us. Our plan is to stay away from him. But his plan is to stay with us. So as soon as we turn to him, Prabhupada so nicely explained in very simple words that a father whose son has left home, is loitering on the street, he just has to come back to the father and he will be rich again. So we are like this. We must turn to Krishna. And this takes inner work. Not just running around all day doing things for Krishna. This is required, necessary, but we must also keep some quiet time to look for him inside ourselves, to develop dependence upon him, prayerful attitude, devotional intentions. We have to pray and stop the foolishness of asking him for things. I give you a coconut, and you give me a big Rolls Royce. That's fair, no? It's quite fair. Ekadantam mahakayam taptakanchana sanibham lambodaram vishalaksham mandeham gananayakam. I give you a coconut and you give me a Rolls Royce. So this kind of exchanges, not with Krishna. Especially after becoming a devotee, dangerous. Ask him for service, devotion, devotee association, the strength to continue on the path of devotional service, the guidance that is required to progress in Krishna consciousness. And he will give. Srila Prabhupada ki